So none can change Allah's words. So if the Torah and the Injil were sent down by Allah, then they are Allah's words, and none can change Allah's words. And in fact, you Muslims say that the Quran is that the speech of Allah is eternal, the kalam of Allah is eternal. Okay? So can anyone change Allah's eternal speech? And if none can change, then why do you claim that the Christian scriptures have been corrupted? Specifically, of course, the Torah and the Gospel. And actually, the first person to propagate the idea of the corruption of the Torah is a man called Ibn Hazm. In the 9th century, there was no Arabic Bible before the 9th century. So when he read the Bible, he realized that the Bible was contradicting the Quran on major doctrinal issues. So his conclusion was, the Bible must have been changed, because the only way for the Quran to be true is to claim that the Bible has been changed. Okay? Now, but this presents a big problem for the Muslims. Why? Because the Quran contradicts the Christian scriptures on essential doctrines, yet it affirms them. Okay? The Quran says that Jesus was not God, that he didn't die on the cross, and that he was not actually raised from the dead. You see that in Surah 4, Surah 4, 157 and 5, 116. But actually, the phrase sent down is an Arabic word, anzala, which literally means sending down. This is the verb used when for the revelation of the Quran. It says, we have sent down to you the book. Okay, we have sent. So to be sent down in Islamic theology means more than simply inspired. It means divine descent. It means direct manifestation of Allah's eternal will, his kalam, his very speech. So when the Quran says that the book, that the Injil and the Torah was sent down, it means those are Allah's words, an eternal will of Allah being made manifest to mankind. Okay? So, and because Allah's speech is eternal, it means it is uncreated. It means it is inseparable from His essence. This is why the Quran is said to be the uncreated word of Allah. But the Quran repeatedly calls the Torah and the Injil the same thing. It completely says it over and over again. The Quran says that the Torah and the Injil have been sent down as a guidance and as a light to mankind. That means that by Islamic logic, both the Torah and the Gospel belong to the same divine category of revelation. That is Allah's speech. So if Muslims claim that the Torah and the Gospel have been corrupted, as you say, then Allah commanded the Jews and the Christians in Surah 568 to uphold corrupted revelations that apparently no longer existed in the original form. But Allah is supposed to be omniscient. So why will an all-knowing God command obedience to a text that has been corrupted, to a text that has been changed? The only way to escape this dilemma, Muslims, is to say that the Quran refers to the Torah and the Injil, which were corrupted, which were okay then, but they were corrupted only later. But then the question is this: when did this alleged corruption occur? Was it before the day of Muhammad? It is impossible. It is impossible. The corruption will not have happened before the time of Muhammad, because the Quran affirms the scriptures that Christians and the Jews have by the time of Muhammad. So it is impossible. So since the Quran repeatedly affirms that the Torah and the Gospel are available during the time of Muhammad, you cannot say it was changed before the time of Muhammad. Because what will the Christians be told? What will be the people of the book or the people of the scriptures be told to judge on? So the gospel will be binding, and the gospel will be in the possession of Christians by the time of Muhammad. Okay, that's why the Quran will affirm them, and by affirming them, it presupposes their preservation. And we can actually show that the gospels that were present during the time of Muhammad in the 7th century are the same gospels that we have today. That will be the Injil, that it is historically reliable. And what was written in the 1st century is still what we have today. So Muslims, can Allah's word be changed? No, the Quran says Allah's words cannot be changed, according to Surah 6, 114 and 115, and according to Surah 18, 27. The Quran says, and recite what has been revealed to you of the book of your Lord. None can change his words. None can change the words of Allah. So the word of your Lord has been fulfilled in truth and in justice. None can change his words. So question, if the Torah and the Gospel are Allah's words, and if no one can change Allah's words, then the Muslim claim that these books were altered and changed, is simply blasphemy against Allah. This is abuse against Allah's own immutability. Because you're saying that Allah's speech can actually be changed. You are actually saying that Allah's word can be corrupted, can be defeated by man.